And interestingly enough, our friend Sean Farnham, who joins us now, ESPN college basketball elite analyst, was speaking with us last week about BYU probably needing to find a different way to win this game against Texas. And Sean, you were on it. They did.
Texas, you should do this for a living.
Hey, they were clearly going to take away the three-point line, and BYU's team responded how you kind of hoped that they would to show that they have something else in the arsenal.
Yeah, but we're not starting there, guys. I can't. I've been sitting here for the last 15 minutes hearing you guys cry about the fact that the Utah game isn't the last game on your schedule. So, I mean, in the news of the day world, that maybe is a little bit fresher for all the BYU fans, let's just start with this.
Okay.
Stanford-Cal, would we agree that's a good rivalry?
100%.
Fantastic.
Okay, not the last game of the season. In fact, Stanford will end with San Jose State. USC and UCLA, would we agree that that is a very strong rivalry?
It used to be.
Great game.
Yeah. Okay. UCLA ends their season with Fresno State. So stop. Stop. When the game shows up, is anybody there going to be sitting there going like, oh, well, I'm really excited for the game, but I'd be even more excited if it was next week. I mean, like, just relax. We're good. We're good.
You know what? On January 30th, BYU didn't have a basketball game tonight. We're looking to get riled up about something. So there it is.
Way to, it's normal sports media nowadays. You guys are fake news. You're fake media right now. Just trying to stir it up. Hot take central. I get it.
It took you a long time to figure this out, but finally you did. Okay, so for BYU and Texas, this is one of the best wins of the year for BYU. And like Spencer mentioned, they figured out a different way to win, which is good because BYU's been fouling a lot, not shooting as many free throws as the opponent. They didn't have to rely on the three on Saturday.
No, and look, every game in this conference is going to be one or two possessions. I'd like to say that I'm wrong, but the metrics are showing that I'm probably going to be right more than I'm wrong. Look at what Texas did last night at home against Houston, a team that they could have beaten, by the way. They could have beat the Cougars last night. And it's blow for blow, punch for punch. And what I love more than anything about this game was 40 points in the paint. I think that was the number. I don't have the box score up in front of me, but 40 points in the paint. Like, I haven't seen a number even remotely close to that seemingly all season long. And maybe it happened in some of the non-conference games when they were walloping people by 100. Okay, but I'm talking about in the significant games in which they have played, they have relied heavily upon the three-point shot. They have not been able to manufacture points in other ways. You have to be able to do that because here's the reality of it. The Big 12, and Coach Pope has talked about this a lot. It is a grind, all right? Every game is a grind. Grinds aren't sprints. You know what three-point shots are? Sprints. Finesse. Grind means you got to get dirty, you got to get tough, and you got to figure out a way to get through the moments when things are not going right. And when they're not going right, if you are mentally and physically stronger than your opponent, you are going to win. And as we mentioned last week when I joined you guys, those first 6 games, that was a gauntlet. This stretch that you're in right now, this is your winning stretch if you want to be a top half finisher inside the Big 12. And I think BYU is capable of doing that. It started with Texas. Like, yeah, is that a tough game?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, it's a tough game. They just beat back-to-back ranked opponents before they showed up into town. But you knocked them off. Good. That's maybe a 50-50 game. And you came out on the right side of it. Tonight is a 75-25 game. Or when they play, I mean, not tonight, but when they play West Virginia.
Sure.
It's a 75-25 game. They've got to go get this one and add to that and build momentum and get wins. Like, I think out of this 6-game stretch, I think 4 wins is something that's very doable for this team. And if you get 4 wins out of 6 inside the Big 12, you feel really a lot better about where you're at. And I think there's going to start to be some separation. I talked about this on Saturday when I called the Baylor TCU game. I think it's still going on. I'm not sure. But I talked about the fact that I do believe that there's going to be some separation here. I do believe that, like, Kansas State, I think, is going to start moving in the opposite direction. I think that West Virginia stays where it's at. Oklahoma State stays where it's at. UCF is going to be a bottom half team. So now you start to look at the teams at the top and you'd say, okay, Texas Tech is there right now. They're the only team with a winning road record in conference play. They're on the road tonight against TCU. That's a game I think they probably lose. So now that drops them down a little bit. And I think you start to see Houston emerge. I think you talk about Kansas is going to be up there. I'm not sold. And then I think there's a grouping. And I think BYU's in this grouping. But it's Texas Tech, it's TCU, it's Oklahoma, Baylor, and BYU. Now, what order is that going to be at the end of the year is going to largely be determined, obviously, I think, in this next 6-game stretch, because I think you can either gain momentum or lose momentum in conference play. When you're looking at the schedule, first 6 games, feeling everything out, trying to come out on fire, it's easy to be excited, right? You're starting conference play. You're like, yeah, let's go. Big 12, here we go. Nobody's been in our place. We're going to do this. And then you come out and you lose to Cincinnati. It's kind of like wah, wah, wah. And you kind of like, oh, gosh, like, what are we doing? Like, we need to. Now you got your feet back underneath you. Let's go. 6 games. What are you going to do here that's going to set up that final stretch run? Because it's easy to get excited going into March. It's easy to get excited when you're like, hey, Kansas City, here we come, Big 12 tournament. Are we going to get a bye? Can we get a bye? Can we get a double bye? What are we looking at here? And I think that's where we're looking at right now for this BYU team is this 6-game stretch, to me, is the most important 6-game stretch that they have all season long.
Sean Farnham bringing it on BYU Sports Nation. It begins with, as you are alluding to, West Virginia. According to ESPN's Basketball Power Index, BYU an 82% chance to win that game. Ken Pomeroy's index has BYU as a 85% winner on the road.
So they're even higher than me.
Man.
I said 75%.
Yeah, well, I understand why you bring that number down, because I think there's some trepidation
have you
collectively
been to
from the
Morgantown?
fan base. Exactly. Yeah, I have for the football game, and it got weird really quick. Like that
the
fan
Applebee's
base
is a great restaurant, though. Best place to go to in town.
Duly noted. I didn't go there last time. Apparently I missed out. All right, Sean.
The fajitas are amazing.
Yeah, you said 75%. You feel good about that number in terms of BYU's chances to win? Okay, why do you? Because some fans feel like that's a 50-50 game because they've beaten Kansas and Texas in Morgantown.
Because they've won those games, though, I don't think that BYU walks in there and goes, oh, this is going to be a rollover game. There are no rollover games, right? And the record can kind of confuse you. They had guys out earlier. They've had issues with injuries and whatnot. I think West Virginia is a little bit better than where they've been. I think they're better at home. But I think this is a mental game more than it is a physical game for BYU. BYU is a more talented team. BYU is a more explosive offense. BYU, if they bring the same mentality that they brought against Texas, which allows their offense to score in a variety of ways, can win this game and can really set the tone in this contest early. But if you give West Virginia hope on their home floor, that's where you get in trouble. When they got the guy running around with like the musket and shooting it like twice a game and scaring the heck out of everybody that's in attendance. The worst is, by the way, if you're losing there, just so you know, everyone, like, you should tell Coach Pope this, but if you're losing at the under 4 timeout, he'll go right behind your bench and fire a shot off. I kid you not. And it is like, you're like, what is going on here? Like, it's a dude running around with like a Davy Crockett hat on. Like, it is unbelievable. But the environment is going to be intense. West Virginia is going to be physical. They're going to compete. This is rinse and repeat right now, guys. Like, it is so hard to make this transition. I think you saw that in Houston when they dropped back-to-back games for like the first time in a gazillion years under Kelvin Sampson. And then they got their feet back underneath them, and now they look pretty good again, right? They look like a team that could maybe win a national championship. I think that when you change conferences, there are no Pacifics. There's no Pepperdines. There's no USDs where you get off the bus and you're like, we're 20 points better. So even in a game like this where you have a sub-500 record in your opponent, you talk about those wins. You show your team those wins. You show that Kansas, a team that a lot of people think can win a national championship, went in there, lost. Texas team that you guys just fought, went in there, lost. So you have the video evidence to like remind your guys of like, this is the challenge. This is what we signed up for. Are you willing to accept that challenge? And it's not about one day accepting it against Texas. It's about the ability to accept it against Texas and then completely forget about Texas and recalibrate and do it all over again. That is the greatest challenge that they will have throughout the rest of conference play. And that's the challenge every team has inside the Big 12 in particular this year.
It's fun to watch BYU grow because the team that took 5th in the WCC last year.
I thought you were going to talk about your hair. It's unbelievable. I agree.
It's amazing to see it grow every
That's ridiculous.
day.
You weren't here last week, so I didn't get to do this to you.
I know.
Okay, go ahead.
Thanks, Sean. Speaking of, have you recovered from the Baylor TCU game? Because you said you took off the jacket, you were loosening the tie. At what point, how many overtimes before you would have lost the shirt?
I would have never lost the shirt. Only Bill Walton can take off his shirt on a national broadcast. So I definitely would not have done that.
But maybe sleeves or something? Like
rolling up the sleeves would have definitely happened on another overtime. I would have definitely just not even cared and started drinking water while on camera. My voice was feeling it towards the end of that game. So I kind of shut it down until the 49er game. And then when the 49ers took care of business and Fred Warner, a great BYU Cougar.
Let's go, Fred.
Good job, Fred.
Played absolutely unbelievable for my Niners to get into the Super Bowl. Let's go.
Yeah.
But no, you know what? That was one of the more memorable games I think I've called in 20 years, just because of how back and forth it was, how wild it was, how many times I thought, a team was going to pull away and then the other team seemingly figured it out. There was never a run of 10 or more points in that game the whole time through 3 overtimes. Nobody went on a 10-0 run at any point. The largest run was 7-5. So it was one of those evenly matched games that was a lot of fun. Chip Gaines was there. I was trying to see if they would come and redo my living room. But unfortunately, I don't think that they were listening. I don't think that Joanna was at home being like, you know what, that Farnham guy is really nice. Maybe we can get him on Baylor Sports Nation. Instead, I'm here with you guys today.
Sean, a couple of things to close out. One, we know you're a huge proponent of Coaches versus Cancer. The Farnham Flatbread raises funds for that specific effort, and we applaud you for that. And also, it's your sister Shannon's birthday today, so we wanted to give a BYU Sports Nation shout out to your sister Shannon. A couple of great things to close out this interview.
I appreciate it very much. She's a great sister, most intense aunt I've ever seen in my life. She's really limited on how many games she can actually attend of my children because she loses it. It's awesome. But the Farnham Flatbread fundraiser is this Friday. I've got the post up on my Twitter account. BYU has been extremely supportive of me, and I appreciate the love. But if you can skip Starbucks today, or if you can skip a sandwich at lunch and give $5, I've got the donation thing up on my Twitter account. I'd appreciate it. We're trying to make this as successful as possible. I made a promise to my father-in-law when I lost him in 2018 that I would do anything I can with my platform, however small or however large it is, to fight cancer and raise money for cancer. And that is what I've been committed to doing. And that's what I will do again on Friday. And look, if BYU would let me sell the Cougar Tail, I would hand deliver Cougar Tails to fans in the stands if we could raise money for cancer, because it's not about anything more than so many great advancements are being made in grants and research and trial medications that if we can finish out a couple of chapters and sentences, I think the wins and the percentages are going to be in our favor. And the most important thing, and you guys know this, you guys are family people. I'm a family guy myself. I've got 3 kids. Time is the most valuable thing that we have in our life. And if we can extend out someone's time to build a relationship with their child, their grandchild, their wife, their cousin, their mom and dad, even, because we're talking about kids losing time too. If we can give time, that's the most powerful thing we can give. And the best way to do that is through grants and research and funding cancer research to continue to allow these amazing doctors all across the world figure out ways that we can combat cancer and make it even something that's livable and then hopefully eventually curable.
Well said, Sean.
Preach, brother.
We appreciate everything you do and commend you for your efforts. We love the Simmons Center for Cancer Research on campus at BYU, and they're doing everything that you're just talking about. So, hey, the wheels are spinning. The wheels are spinning with this Cougar Tail thing. Let's broach that conversation a little bit later.
You know what? I can come to a football game, let's say, that should be the last game of the year, but isn't the last game of the year that you guys are all upset about. No.
Oh,
you guys are the best. I appreciate you guys having me on, and I think that BYU fans should be really excited about how this team played against Texas. Now they got to rinse and repeat and show that they can do it more than once. And once you start to do that, I think the buy-in factor from everybody across the country and the buy-in factor from this team realizing just how good they can be, because they can be a second weekend team in the NCAA tournament, but they got to see it and start to believe it.
Great stuff. Sean, always nice to talk with you. We'll do it again next week, man. Take care.
Sounds good. I'll talk to you guys.
Sean Farnham of ESPN on BYU Sports Nation.